Bonus fact: the deadliest place on earth is in Brazil. Brazil is home to Queimada Grande Island, also known as Snake Island. In order to enter the island, you must ask the authorization of the Brazilian Navy, take proper instructions, and be accompanied by a doctor in case of any bites. Only scientists are seen to be allowed in the island. Of course, for research, that is. Queimada Grande Island has about 45 venomous snakes per 100 meter. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Unknown Rumor, where we are going to learn about the 11 facts that you didn't know about Brazil. We all know Brazil is a country situated in South America, but there are many facts about this country that you probably did not know. So today we are going to tell you about the 11 facts you probably didn't know about Brazil, but do watch the video till the end because the number one fact will blow you away. Fact 11. Most popular last name in Brazil is Silva. Well, this is common in both Brazil and Portugal. Just over 1 million people in Brazil have the Da Silva variation of the name. It is derived from the Latin term silva, which means jungle or forest. With the presence of Romans in the Iberian Peninsula, many Lusitanians incorporated Silva in their own name. Fact 10. Brazilians eat more rice and beans than feijoada. Although feijoada is the national dish of Brazil, most people in the country eat daily rice and beans, twice to be more precise, once for lunch and another for dinner since it is easier to prepare rice and beans. That's why most households cook it every single day. Fact 9. Portuguese is the official language in Brazil. Even though most people around the world think that Brazilians speak Spanish, Portuguese is actually the official language of Brazil, and Brazil is also the only South American country to speak Portuguese. Fact 8. Brazil has about 180 spoken languages. Speaking of languages, there are at least 180 languages. The other languages besides Portuguese are spoken mostly by about 160,000 indigenous people. Sadly, these languages are treated with extinction since fewer than 10,000 people currently speak them. Fact 7. Brazil was a Portuguese colony for 322 years. This may not come as a surprise since Brazil is the only South American country to speak Portuguese. The Portuguese arrived in Brazil in 1500 and kept the country one of their colonies for 322 years. They stayed until 1822 when locals fought for independence and won on September 7th. Fact 6. People of Palmeiro town in the south of Brazil learn a dialect of German at school. Again, talking about languages, a dialect of German is spoken and taught in Brazil, since loads of Germans immigrated to Santa Catarina and Rio Grande do Sul in the 20th century, and few German communities are still living according to their traditions. And even more mind-blowing is that they speak a dialect of German in Brazil. Can you imagine speaking German in Brazil? Fact 5. Brazil has the largest Japanese community outside of Japan. Well, about 1.5 million Brazilian Japanese live in Brazil now. But in 1908, the first Japanese immigrants arrived in Brazil, and since then it has developed into the most significant ethnic Japanese population outside of their home country. Considering both cultures are very different from each other. Cool, right? Fact 4. There is a replica of the 14th century Japanese temple Kinkakuji in Brazil. Speaking of Japanese culture, it doesn't come as a surprise that Sao Paulo has a replica of one of Japan's most significant temples, right? A little over an hour's drive from city center, the town of Itapecerica da Serra is home to a beautiful cinerarium. This cinerarium is based in the Japanese Kinkakuji temple's replica surrounded by a gorgeous garden. This is a great day trip from São Paulo. Fact 3. The name Brazil comes from a tree named Brazilwood. When the Portuguese arrived in Brazil, the Brazilwood tree was everywhere. it was a considerable export good for them, and because there were so many, they gave it its name to the country, Brazil. Fact 2. Brazil has been the largest producer of coffee for the last 150 years. This may be common knowledge among coffee drinkers since Brazilian coffee is the best, that Brazil is by far the world's largest producer and exporter of coffee, accounting for 30% of the world's production. Before we head to number 1, please do leave a like on the video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting, weird and amazing facts which will make you more knowledgeable as a person. And also do turn on the bell notification icon. So go on, subscribe. Done? Alright, moving on to number 1. Finally, fact 1. A politician inspired the creation of brigadeiro. Brigadeiro is the most consumed Brazilian dessert, and it all started with the presidential elections of 1945. To help the political campaign, many of the female voters cooked desserts to serve at meetings for one of the candidates, a brigadier. As a result of the war, milk was scarce. So, Heloísa Nabuco de Oliveira prepared chocolate fudge truffles with sweetened condensed milk instead. The little balls were a success and spread quickly across the country, and because they didn't know a better name, they called it brigadeiro. So that's it for the video. Stay tuned as we upload at least 2 videos weekly. Please do like the video, leave a comment on what you want us to make a video about, and you should have done it by now, that is subscribing to us. Also, we are available on Patreon. We will be releasing bonus facts or other informations on Patreon along with our YouTube videos, so do support us and check those out. Finally, thank you and may peace be upon you.